Hello, my name is insert your name here. Today we are going to talk about a game that might kill you. Yes! Freaking nailed it! Hey guys, welcome back and thanks for tuning in. Today we're going to talk about one of my all-time favorite arcade games, and that is Berserk. Released in 1980 by Stern Electronics, and it was the first game in history to be blamed for causing the death of someone. There were 3 separate instances back in the 80s that all happened at one location, surrounding the exact same machine. And we're going to dive into it today. So let's head over to the machine, let's play a few games, and let's talk about it. All right, guys, we got our VHS camcorder set up here. We got a fresh tape in there. Let's grab a token and coin this up and play a little Berserk. So Berserk was released in 1980 by Stern Electronics. It was designed by Alan McNeil. There's quite a funny story surrounding the development of this game and how Evilotto came to be Evilotto and all of that. I might go into that in another video, but that's not the main topic of this video. So, 1980, Berserk comes out, and it was a huge success. I mean, you couldn't go anywhere without seeing a Berserk cabinet. You know, they were at movie theaters. They're pretty much every arcade, everywhere that had games, pretty much everybody had a Berserk. One location in particular, Friar Tuck's Arcade in Calumet City, which is kind of a suburb of Chicago in upper northern Illinois, had a Berserk cabinet. And there's quite a bit of history with this one particular Berserk. It all started, the first instance that you hear of is in October of 1982. Peter Burkowski had just put a new high score up on the machine, and shortly after, well, this is where it's not exactly clear. There are news articles out about it, and that some say that it was right after he was playing, some say it was while he was playing. But either way, right after he gets done with playing a game of Berserk, he suffers a massive heart attack, dies. And it's such a tragedy. Anytime something like that happens, it's so... It can shake a small town like that. And that's when the rumors started. And gossip trails and everybody's saying, oh, well, I heard this, I heard that. And then all of these stories start coming up from an instance in January of 1981, which is over a year prior to the Peter Burkowski incident. And what starts coming down the pipeline is that this kid named Jeff Daly, and this is probably the more well-known story from this particular Berserk in this arcade. Anyway, he was trying for a high score, and allegedly, shortly after putting up a score of 16,660, he also suffered a massive heart attack right after playing Berserk. But this was also one of those, yes, there is a record of someone with this name dying in January of 1981, but no one brought this up until after the Peter Burkowski incident came up. That was when, the gossip trails started and everybody started saying this, started saying that. And, either way, it's still a tragedy when you have anyone really die of a heart attack, especially a youth. And then to have such controversy come up about a game causing it. Well, fast forward a few more years to March of 1988, still back at Friar Tuck's Arcade, still with the exact same Berserk cabinet that all of this previous stories had been come around. Edward Carter Jr. walks in goes over to the Berserk cabinet and sees some quarters sitting on there. No one's around. He says, well, they're mine now. He grabs them, starts playing the game. All of a sudden, Pedro Roberts comes up, says, hey, what are you doing? That was my stuff. Those are my quarters. Get out of here, blah, blah, blah. They get into it. Pedro pulls out a knife and ends up stabbing Edward in the chest, piercing his heart. Edward died from his wounds, and just a tragedy all around. But then that's when the town itself starts going nuts, because Calumet City had 2, maybe 3 water towers that had, ironically enough, smiley faces painted on top of the water towers. And this town thought that Evil Otto in the Berserk arcade game was sending subliminal messages and teaching these kids, that they need to substitute violence for whatever. And they were really going nuts on this thing, so much so that they ordered having the water towers in their town repainted to get rid of the crazy Evil Otto-esque smiley faces on there. Which, that is so crazy to me. I can't imagine a town going through the expense and trouble that it would take to repaint some water towers because they were so certain that Evil Otto, the crazy smiley face in this game, was brainwashing these kids and causing all of this tragedy to happen. But that's the story of the Berserk cabinet at Friar Tuck's Arcade in Calumet City. If you enjoyed this video and you want to see more like it, please like, subscribe, leave a comment down below. Let me know what you think of it. If there's anything else you want to know about Berserk, maybe I will come up with a tips and tricks video and teach you guys a little bit of the gameplay, mechanics, and whatnot. But anyway, tune in next time, and we will see you on the flip side.
The intruder must not escape.